Hello everybody, and we're back. First round, Champions Cup, the round of 64. We've got TomasT's Dark Elves versus Tasteless1979's Dorfs. Dorf. It's 11 Dark Elves. It's just the bare 11 Dark Elves. It's got a really nice witch there. Wow, look at that. Tackle Pom, Blodge Step, Agi 5, Guard Blodge Step, Diving Tackle. He's got all the tools. And he's got a movement up blitzer with Edge. So he gets an extra reroll on the kickoff. I'm guessing he's got the Fame. He has Fame and Apo. Wizard for the Dorfs. And I guess this is just, yeah. He's got Boomer as well. Classic. So he's put his blitzer on the LOS. That's a choice, isn't it? He's got his blitzer on the LOS. There's another blitzer there. Oof. Going for the reroll hard. Wow. Instant reroll. Is he going to pom it? He is going to pom it. I guess he's set up these doors kind of far back as well, isn't he? He's kind of set them up a square too far back. Keeping his tackle back. Yeah. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. I mean, do you, like, the blitzer being on the LOS is a bit weird to me. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I don't think TomasT's the kind of guy who's going to score anytime soon. Yeah, I guess you could do PC. Let me just give you a call. Here he is. Right, so Dorf. I guess PC will be the man. Who knows what he's talking about in this one? Hello.
Share your screen then, mate.
Good evening. Yeah, let me do that as well. So.
Evening.
Blood Bowl 2.
I might not last it out, mate, but
It's alright, buddy.
I'm in for a bit.
Yeah, I've got the week off work, and I had a nightmare today. I had a power cut, so I was yeah, and then I had a power cut again in the middle of the Ducky game, so it's a bit rough. The boom is just stunned. So.
I played well because I haven't played it for years, literally. So I replayed the tutorial. Well, I mean not all of it, but like the first 25 minutes just to get my hand back in. And then had a look to see whether I needed to buy any of the new DLC for Galactic Civilizations 3, which I've got an itch to scratch. It's Conquering Space.
Nice.
And basically everyone says, oh, the DLC, yeah, don't really need it, mate. As long as you've got Crusades, which I've got, then you know, that's just about good enough.
TomasT using his second reroll on a dodge out there. Not pomming this time though.
TomasT's an interesting case. He's a really good Dark Elf coach. But he's the sort of person that I think Chunter means when he talks about people being a this main or a that main.
Yeah, he definitely plays like a lot of Dark Elves, and I don't really remember him seeing play anything else.
No, I'm not sure I have. And he's very, in some ways he's very good with them, but in other ways he's got some of those Dark Elf sort of bad habits as well at times. The things he trusts because they'll work against most races, but doesn't always adjust that. But it's a beautiful Dark Elf team. I mean, this one could really go all the way if it can get past Dorfs. Never an easy draw for them, but despite, of course, Tasteless having two very decent record Dwarf teams, neither of them's that super special, are they?
I mean, like, to be fair, considering like the Dwarf teams we normally get, I mean, it's pretty much on par with what we normally get.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I mean, it's not Andy Davo's Dwarf team this season, but,
No.
It can do some things. And, like, the main, like, he's got the Wizard, hasn't he? He's got the Wizard. He's playing against
corn-fed Dwarf team.
Yeah. He's got 11, like, he's only playing against 11 players. So.
Yeah, I mean, Andy did it terribly sensibly. He built it, right at the start, before there was any claw, and built it up nice and big.
Yeah, he did bang out the games as well, yeah.
He absolutely did, and if you look back on it, it never faced anything bigger or clawier.
Yeah.
And it's it's got good shots. A really nice Dorf team. This is it's solid. It's it's tight and compact. It could be a little more aggressive. It could have a couple of interesting skills or stats that would help. But we've seen dwarf teams like this in plenty of people's hands, not just mine. Go plenty deep enough.
I can't remember who's won it with Dark Elves. I know someone has won it. Oh, Hatebreed won it with Dark Elves, I believe, if I'm correct. But yeah, I mean, like, they're surprisingly like not in the later stages more often than you'd think.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Elves tend to be, in every format, strong at every level. In terms of tournament teams, they've got the armor to hold up against non-Clory teams. They're agile and fast enough to get away from Clory teams. I mean, they should have all the tools in the box.
It's just keeping them alive, I guess. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I mean, they do get a little fat and bloaty. 4 blitzers a witch and then some linemen, and if they all start skilling up, they can get well over 2,000, and suddenly they're not getting inducements. And I don't know. Maybe
I mean, like, you're looking at this, like the Dorfs have got 12 players. They've got a star as well and a wizard,
Yep.
and they're playing against like that's that's an hilarious bomb.
Yeah,
Fired them from miles away. Like
he got there, just didn't do anything when he got there. But wow,
I don't even know what that's a 5+ pass he's making for those bombs.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he does come with accurate, doesn't he? Good old bomber.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But it's it's quite a funny strat. Yeah.
It's still a big ask when there's that many dwarfs in between, and a missed throw would, knock them over as well.
Yeah, especially only running one runner as well.
Yeah, it's a huge risk. I mean, you know me, Dimmy. Even if I come into the challenge tight, I try and have a second runner.
He's on the bench, to be fair. I didn't see him. He's got guard on.
Okay. Oh yeah. That's why we didn't realise it was a runner.
Yeah, it's I mean, like, obviously
choice, isn't it?
Yeah, guard on everything is always a thing. But
I mean, if I had a double on a runner, the first one would definitely be dodge.
So he gets a KO there, chip little player. First of the match. That was TomasT chipping himself on a 1 in 9, to be fair.
Yep.
He's not had the best dice so far, has he? He's he got the 1 in 9 with a witch, then he rolled the 1 on the dodge out, and then there was another snake on a dodge out as well. So classic TomasT so far. That witch is.
Yes, I mean
he's exposed.
I would think of him if you asked me about a typical TomasT team. It would be small dark elves with plenty of stat ups and fun elves, but no blooming luck at all.
That's another KO.
And he just doesn't have anything to bring in. I mean, you can have 3 of the best elves in the world, but if there's 11 dwarves facing them, they're going to struggle.
Then he's got a waddle over now. He's left a big old hole here.
Is it 1 or 2 loners, or?
He's got 2 loners, yeah. So it's. But I mean, Tasteless has left a pretty big hole here.
Oh, it's massive. It's a gaping void.
I know. Wow, it's.
Well, that's because he wanted to throw a big old bomb up there and just kill all the elves.
Sack the bomb.
Which is the right thing to do. That's, I mean, wow. I mean, at least that one he didn't throw over the heads of dwarves who could easily have been blown up by it. It is a, if it's a 5+ throw, we'll see that one. But if it was, that's 55% with a re-roll of pass to get there.
That was
not shocking, I suppose. But
can't even see it on here.
No, there's too much gone on since.
There's a turnover without even picking.
Wow.
Surprised he didn't surf the runner.
Yeah, but we've got still dwarves all over the wrong side of the field, but now they've got the time to get back in, haven't they?
Yeah. Is that it?
I mean, that bomb really did undo a hellishly bad situation.
Yeah.
Dark Elves were going to push all the way through, reverse the field, monster the bomber with about 5 elves.
He rolled double powers. Oh, okay, cheers. Practical snow. Diced with pals, the worst kind of
Yeah,
dicing.
yeah, absolutely. The one time you want to push, it never bloody is it?
It is true, yeah. It's like the only time I ever roll a power is when I'm trying to do that serve.
And now that, I mean, that channel's still there, but now there's
Oh, you have
plenty in
fence
it,
as well, yeah.
and it's much thinner. Oh, poor Tom. This is not what he's going to be at one. It was so open. If only that bomb didn't work.
Oh, wow! Cheeky dodge, cheeky KO. That was quite an interesting one. He did have fens. Well, he did have fens. Yeah, he's a skip at the moment. And okay, right, yeah. He's had enough of this nonsense. Let's get rid of the boomer.
Well, Boomer is a very high variance engine, but I suspect, I mean, if I'd been hiring Boomer here, it would be largely to foul things with.
And he's done the 1D jump up. Wow, that was rowdy.
Well, I mean, on a wrestle piece, it's a it's a 2+, isn't it? It's not the end of the world. And it has given him that corridor again.
Coming down here.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Interesting.
Oh, okay, that's how he's going to try and give himself some outs, because otherwise, I mean, I still think the front of this shape gets just smashed in, doesn't it?
Well, you can surf the Agi Blitzer. Oh, he's using the wizards. Oh, and he's rolled a 1.
Ooh. Well, I mean, some nice bounce options there in terms of a bounce out or in terms of a bounce through the bobble box. But yeah, I didn't hate that whiz, but he's going to have hated the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a Kaz on the Agi.
Well, swings and roundabouts then. Snakes and
Apost.
ladders. Every rose has a thorn. Every cowboy sings a sad, sad song.
He hasn't really done a great deal to close this off.
No. Well, is this dwarf going to be... No, this dwarf's just dropping back. Okay, that's not awful, but it's probably not enough. The elves have only got to pull off a few little twos here, haven't they?
Well, the removals are starting to mount up now as well, so that's
They
another
are.
KO.
Yeah.
So I think
down to 7 elves. I think we can bang it in this turn. I don't think we need to wait another. Yeah, just casual little
this is amazing.
hop and pop.
He's gonna say, oh, he's failed the GFI. Oh my god, TomasT is like rolling some. I mean, he's rolling a lot of dice,
shite.
but he's also.
He does like to roll the dice.
And now he's stuck
And now,
in his
unfortunately,
own way.
he's completely buggered himself. A lovely surf, but he's stuck himself in. Yeah.
What turn is it?
Oh no! Of course, if this works, that was smart, Thomas. So that creates the hole he needs. And
he's stalling, yeah.
He's stalling it up. He'll take the 1 die.
Oh man, that's some scary dice rolls
go.
after the old failed GFI.
I said it was only some 2s.
I know, but it's no reroll and it's like dodging off tackle.
To be fair, it was about 17 2s, but it just was some 2s.
It's rowdy as hell. Yeah, they are scary, scary as hell. I mean, it's a good thing he got the extra reroll on the kickoff because he definitely he went ham with his rerolls, didn't he?
Oh, he's powering through them, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, it's a perfect turn 8 stall, so I mean.
Yeah.
Complete. Oh, I need a push there.
But there's a big question over whether 2 rolls on the KOs is going to be enough.
Right, gets the tag. It's just gonna go and blitz it. Ah, he's got jugs. No, he hasn't got jugs. So he's just choosing not to stand firm. It didn't make a difference either way, to be fair. Going for style points, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he banged it in.
Yeah.
He's got the result. I mean, he's lost a few elves on the way. That boomer was hilarious. To be fair, that was my highlight.
But I mean, every time I've seen TomasT play, it's been like this. He's very rarely. I mean, you can see Dark Elves played very passively, can't you? You know,
Yes, yeah.
walls of elf curtains and just controlling the field and saying, hit my AV8 and I'll stand up again, ha ha ha. And I'll dodge one square further back and elf wall again. I'm not sure Thomas has ever seen that people do that with Dark Elves, because when I've watched him, he's never seen that as an option. He's very offensive, very aggressive, likes to roll the dice, and really often gets away with it. It's it's a style that he's very comfortable with. Good evening, little Baz. One of these days, little Baz, I want to make you a killer goat. just to see how you mix.
So we got both runners fielded for this drive. Oh no, this is the
This is the if there's a riot, I might have a slim possibility.
There's a kick.
He isn't going to get that. Oh no, that's kickoff return.
Yeah, perfect defense.
Nope.
It's the wrong half to get it.
1-0 down at the half.
And he's avoided absolutely 0 mighty blow.
He's done all right on the first set of KOs.
Yeah.
He'd have taken 2 out of 4. I mean, I'm sure he'd now take 1 out of the remaining. I consider himself pretty well served if he does come in with with 10 elves.
You gotta go in mighty blow, yeah.
Yeah. Now the Dorfs should be popping a foul in here.
1, 2, 3.
Not on the loner, obviously, but.
Or without a DP?
Yeah. What the hell is a bench for?
I guess. I mean, there is a possibility of overtime, especially being 1-0 down.
Well, I mean, now that you're piling on, that's 1 less assist. Now that you've removed an elf to KO, maybe not now. I'd certainly be considering it in the second half if I got very much on top of them, because there's absolutely no point going to overtime with anyone on the bench, is there?
Okay, so TomasT's back up to 10 players, which is like, if you're the dwarf coach, you're probably not very happy with that, to be fair.
No, because I mean that was slightly over the odds. 2 out of 4 on the first set is fine, but then 2 out of 3 on the second set, you're feeling mildly aggrieved.
I mean, it is
but
the rest
with KOs, they don't stick, do they?
Yeah, and we've seen it time and time again, like where you get mad swings in games where someone looks all but out, the game looks completely over, and then a couple of KO rolls later, and it's suddenly they're the guy on top with more players on the pitch.
Orifer, I couldn't have a bench with Thomas's team because he already has 2 loners because he only has 9 elves.
Yeah.
So no, there is unless you had 200k in the bank, in which case surely even that doesn't buy 3, does it?
Extra reroll for TomasT.
210k to put them up to 12 players.
That's going to be annoying for Tasteless. Another reroll for Thomas.
Yeah.
It really aggrieves me when my opponent gets rerolls on kickoffs, especially like when they're rolling a lot of dice and stuff.
Has he got the fame?
He has, yeah.
Yeah, okay, well. What really pisses me off is when I've got the fame and they get the reroll on the kickoff. When they're being utter dice lords. That is genuinely offensive.
So Orifer's saying, would you run a bench like, or keep it trim in the chalice if you had the choice?
Look, I've always liked, Arrested Development has a sort of, I don't like the phrase rule of thumb, but a general rule, which is worth bearing in mind, which is 21 minus your average AV, that's your ideal team size. So, if you've got AV9, then 12 is probably okay in most situations. Averaging 8, I would love to take 13 to the chalice. With Dark Elves, they're so damn bloaty, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
So I'd probably settle on 12 as a reasonable compromise, particularly if I wasn't running assassins or runners, so I didn't have too much AV7. If I only had the witches to take care of.
And
if I'm running a lot of AV7, then I would definitely want to try and push it up to 13, but that would then be so bloody bloaty.
Yeah, and the thing is,
because you've seen the problem here.
Star player.
Yeah, exactly. You can. The problem here is that he's got some really good elves, but has he got enough fodder? Because if you can take a couple of them out, suddenly loners really aren't going to get much done for you.
Is he
He's
going
got
to
to be
palm? He's
so
not going to
careful. I
palm.
mean, a double
Yeah.
witch without much fodder to defend them it's asking to get punched in the face by something as offensive as this team, and he's very lucky it isn't happening a bit worse.
I mean, he has had a couple of goes at him, but he just hasn't got what he needed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, imagine if just 2 of those KOs in the first half had been, even badly hurt.
Well, the Apo's gone from Thomas, I think.
Yeah, so that's a start. But if you put these Dark Elves down from 10 to 8, you'd be back in the Dwarves definitely to drive on and make
Oh
ends
yeah, yeah.
And if they can get a couple more out during this drive, you'd think, job done. But it isn't done yet. And those witches are so bloody good that if you can't take one of them out, or preferably both, I think Thomas is in a really good position here.
He'll be super disappointed that his wizard failed as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's had a bit of a rough one.
Yeah, it was a good whiz to throw as well. That was a really good chance. About 3 and 8 if it got her down, which is of course 5 out of 6 to do. That it goes out, and if it goes out, at least 2, if not all 3 of the throwing positions were good for the Dwarves. And even if it drops on the ground, as we said, he had enough pieces to go offensively into that area, do some surfing, and maybe get the ball bounced or knocked out again, or knocked somewhere he could pick it up. But on a 1, it just all fell to rack and ruin. I like what Thomas did with his witch, though. Legendary fumble coach Pete W. did very similar with an agility 5 witch. Lots of leaping serfs.
Ooh.
I mean, they can go anywhere, a leaping AG5 witch.
And he got himself sent off.
He did.
That's a rowdy foul. I guess it's trying to protect the witch.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I said there was space for the Dorfs to foul. I wasn't so convinced there was space for the Dells. Presumably it was one of the loners.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Thomas has also assessed that if he doesn't stop the Dorfs on this drive over time, he may not have enough Dells. So I guess he's trying to throw everything into that.
Yeah, I guess. I think that was more about protecting the witch. I don't know, but like fouling AV9 sucks. Like when you.
Yeah, I mean, Orifer, just to give you the final bit of that answer for you. In the Chalice, I don't think elves should really worry about being too big. Although, of course,
they're going to naturally trim.
Yes, they're going to naturally trim down during a Chalice.
Yeah.
And whilst no one loves facing a whiz, it is the least bad for elves.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
And yet it's still probably the best thing to take against them.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, bribes, but like if you can get a wizard over a bribe, then it's got to be a wizard, I guess.
Yeah, and whilst I do love a rowdy second apothecary, even against an elf team, if I can get a whiz, I take that first.
Nice positioning in from Thomas as well. It's
yeah, I mean, Thomas is really proper good at the game. He just
gets a bit aggressive.
Yeah, he loves to roll the dice. He loves to play his Dark Elves.
I mean, he's consistent.
And he's good at doing what he knows how to do. It's just that what he knows how to do is sometimes going to fail because it's so dicey sometimes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I utterly respect that what he builds is the sort of, I mean, it's a simplistic view. This is a horrible blitz.
Yeah.
But I guess he feels he's got to go man on man and get some real fighting going on. The Dells should not accept that. They should
the side steps
attack
are irritating.
the dwarf left and then pull out from everywhere else, which is exactly what Thomas is doing. Well done. Yeah, I mean, I respect that Thomas has built and always builds, Dark Elf teams that are actually exciting because so many are really dull. The problem with that is that they're going to get smashed out at some point in a Chalice run. They're not going to be able to get 6 rounds of playing like this and live.
I honestly don't think. I think Dark Elves in CCL are probably one of the harder races to like get a decent record with.
I don't know why that would be the case. Like I said, they tend to be strong in every format.
It's just, I don't know, like the start, like it always seems a bit rough, and then like the attrition side of things. A lot of the
Yeah,
time you're playing against like dwarfs and dwarfs and
I mean, I do think that's a part of the answer to Orifer, isn't it? I do think during the run you would have to be brutally efficient with your TV.
yeah.
Because if you are facing too much heavy bash, you don't have the speed and agility of some of the other elf team.
Speed mainly, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
So there's a KO, and that's the edgy guy. It's quite patient.
Mm. Well, I mean, you actually don't want to push too hard because you kind of want to fight your way there to take a couple of elves out on the way. That said, you've still got to keep making progress because if you don't, you end up not getting there.
Yeah, everything's been KOs, like literally everything's been KOs. Yeah, like you say, you turn a couple of those into badly hurts, and it like really.
Yeah. That's one thing I think I recall about TomasT is that he is pretty good at sort of finding that moment where he has to instantly turn to elf walling.
Yeah.
And as I said, what he's done here is, disengage. Monster the left side of the Dorfs didn't quite work, and he got one of them down. And just rebuild his walls. So we are seeing him move into a more defensive mode now, which makes perfect sense. The Dorfs are now getting a little short on time.
3 turns. Quite a way to go, yeah.
Quite a way to go, yeah. Thomas has found the right moment again. This is definitely the moment.
That's a 2 into 1 there. Wow.
Yeah, that was why the Dorfs stepped in, and that was why the Delphs stepped out. It's now all time management. This is a nice move up this flank.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know if that had to be a 2 into 1.
Well, it's given him this space, didn't he? And what's the point in having rerolls and losing?
No, so I mean, like he could have made it a 2 into 2 and then still found this space. Like it's.
Yeah, but only with some go for it's that would have really limited what you could do afterwards. Whereas he's locked up the sort of near Delphs quite nicely. I didn't hate it. I mean, I did think it was rowdy, and he's done it at a time before. I agreed with you. That time did give him that, pushed that Delph around the corner, gave him all of that flank. And of course, he was hoping for a power on the first 2.
Why did he stand firm?
Yeah.
I guess he didn't want him on the ball, or?
I would have done, because I like hitting witches. There was no tackle for her to drop onto, is there?
No, there was no tackle.
She could have dodged out as easily. And also, I think the push would have put the Dwarf in a better position if it hadn't been stunned.
Yeah, so like here,
yeah. Giving the instant assist to the other Dwarf, who was likely to get tagged as he has been.
Good evening, Milo.
Right, so this is actually much simpler than.
Yeah, you just go for it. Yeah, I see. And like you can even get this stand firm guy up like here.
Yeah, I mean, basically you can't stay out on that edge. Delph could very easily build up big curtains in front of it, so this is great.
I'm surprised.
It's almost centralizing, which is what you'd ideally want, but there wasn't. The Delphs are all in the middle. What it does, it gives you an entire flank on the left now that the Delphs have to rush into to get enough there to stop you and get enough in front of you, and yet not abandon enough on the right. So it just gives them loads of problems.
I love the old pylon belly flop.
Yeah.
It's the only good thing about dwarves, really.
Okay, so the Delph answer to this is the right answer, which is hit the front left corner of the cage, I imagine. Just try and prevent them going that way as cheaply as possible.
Yeah, the diving tackles.
No, he's coming in the other corner. I'm not so sure about this.
Oof.
Yeah, no, it's time, Dimmy. I need to get up in Dorf faces.
I mean, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GFI.
Yeah. Just got to move the witch and then 3-2-2. There is some ways to make it easier than that, but
yeah, it's got double guard there though, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, but you can blitz the outside corner
Or
one.
just hands off.
Yeah, or just exactly hand off to the other
Yeah.
runner. Problem with that is
Oh,
that's still a 3-2-2, but never mind.
and that's his last reroll. Turn 16,
It got there, but it was still a 3-2-2.
and you don't get
There's
to punch L's like either, which
one.
is one of the things. I probably would have took a couple of hits there. I think just before. I don't know, maybe not. I probably would have
I
just
didn't
run it in with a runner.
quite look at all of the assists. I thought there was a way to cut the corner and make it just a 2+2+.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was just looking at running the runner through with the 2+2+.
I think you could have moved the piece on the corner that would have made it a 3-2-2 for that run.
And if this is a one-turn defense, is
And
oh no,
moved the
it's all
witch.
stand firm. It's all stand firm. Okay, so yeah.
So I think you could have moved the witch off the ball carrier and moved the one that was on the far left corner as we were looking and made it a 2+2+. And if at any point, the hits to do that hadn't worked, the handoff was still an option. But that's still a 3-2-2. It's no better.
I mean,
But it worked.
considering the front line have stand firm, is it not better to just do the not the like if you don't want to do the back line, but just at least cover the sides?
Yes, because your bigger worry should be the riot.
He doesn't want
Does
to
he
get
have a?
surfed by the witch. That's why.
Does the Dark Elf have a jugs?
No, no, she's
They
got.
put 3 stand firm on the line and back line.
He's done that. He's put 3 stand firm on the line, but then he did this weird.
Yeah. Then it's
thing here.
a semi-NAF style defense.
Oh, what this?
Yeah.
So he's probably a tabletop guy then.
Yeah. I mean, it's the NAF defense, but as you said, 1 square in, so
Yeah.
that they can't get served.
Yeah.
But that only makes sense if it's against Juggernaut. I suppose it's to spring out in case of a riot, but in that case,
That's it. I think that's
the
the riot thing, but.
But remember, he's got that leaping witch, so even if you set it up chevrons like this, then the leap to surf the one in the corner
TomasT
is
has
still
won the
an
toss.
option.
Yeah.
Yes, he has.
Is there a reason that these guys are 1 square back? And is there a reason why the blitz is on the LOS? Is it because he's tackled? Like, I like the
think
stand
it's because
firm.
he wants the 4 tackles on the front corners, and he wants both runners on the pitch. I don't know. I mean, I would have.
Well, he did it in the first half with only. Oh no,
he
but he had
did,
Boomer.
and he set 1 step back in the first half as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah. I'm just
I
interested.
mean, at this point, it makes much more sense than it did at the first one. At this point, you're much more a liable victim to a quick push down the side.
And like the thing, like I understand this kind of setup if you're playing against like Nurgle when they've got like warriors and stuff, but
I think he doesn't want the Dark Elves getting either through the middle and
around
behind
him.
the walls.
Yeah.
He wants to be more responsive to that.
But this makes it easier to get through the middle, right? Because
well, yes, but there's still, because of your pace, it's still quite hard to set up a formal cage up beyond it. You need to knock all the line of scrimmage over and leave a route through and maximise all your moves.
Yeah.
And because you need the things in the centre hitting on the line of scrimmage, they can't be part of the people that go through to form the cage. So you also need at least 3 on the line of scrimmage and then 4 for the cage and a ball carrier. So going through the middle isn't easy. Going down the side is less material intensive. But what this does do, unfortunately, is see just some elves can get easily over the line. You're trying to defend those and push forward to the ball. There's always swings and roundabouts in every setup.
Yeah.
There's things to like about this thing. However, now that they've done exactly what you said, Dimmy, now you can certainly get an elf as an option right down that middle.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to, but
no, I don't think he's going to.
It's like, and I don't think I don't know, like I don't think the average Chalice coach does anything quite that rowdy. It might, maybe like your average CCL game, you might get someone.
An interesting subplot here, of course, is that the Dark Elves have absolutely no need to be doing any of this.
Being in a position to be based.
Playing Blood Bowl at this point. They have 4 reroll 0. They could have just picked the ball up and run the hell away, couldn't?
I mean, that is an option.
Particularly with the dwarves setting up deep.
I feel like
he would have tempted even me, I have to admit.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I do a withdrawn offence when I feel it's the right tactic. And the
I
problem is the
don't know.
dwarves have to turn you over. So I'd be looking to what I call lengthen the pitch to me. I wouldn't just be doing what people call the Daka. I would be withdrawing the ball, and then as soon as he moves forward, looking for space to push some things into at least the midfield area. So he's got to leave something back as well as coming forwards. And then the minute I've got him doing that, I've lengthened the field. Dorfs can't cope with that, and then I can get an easy touchdown.
And this looks.
But this is the same. He's just pushed down a side exactly as I said he should.
Yeah, I thought this was quite an option. Like that, he was so
Yep.
like base intensive. But I
Yeah,
mean, like to be fair, like he was like, "Come and pound my stand firmer," and
yeah,
TomasT obliged to pound his
absolutely,
stand firmer like just straight away.
absolutely.
So
But I mean, he has kept a couple of sweepers back, so try and get up in ball.
yeah, he's got no wizard this time though. That's the thing. Well, not that
Yeah.
it did any good in the first time. But
Yeah, it utterly failed, but yes.
yeah, it's like again, overtime toss is gonna feel bad. Oh, is this to make him a scoring threat? It is. Yeah, it puts him in range. Yeah.
Well, also it cuts off all the central door from where you don't want them to be, Dimmy. If you look at the diagonal line from the line of scrimmage to where you want lots of dwarves to be, he's right in that path. And I think that's actually more important than the scoring threat. The score will be on where the guy that's holding the ball right now.
The movement up, yeah.
But it's a lovely position Thomas found there. I mean, I do think he's played the better. I don't think the Dorfs have done enough in the right times and in the right ways.
Yeah, it's amazing how many rerolls he got through in that second half.
Yeah, I don't think this feels enough to me when Thomas has 4 rerolls.
Oh, he's got Agi as well. Agi 5, and it's like he can yeah, just chuck the guard in there and 2D it around the side.
Yep.
Hits the POW.
To be fair, could have 2D'd it through the Slayer.
And that's GG.
There we go. Well, I think Thomas deserved that. Slightly on balance. Tasteless has shown that he can build a good dwarf run. He's done it twice in a single season, so I'm sure he'll be back.
So yeah, 14 armor breaks. No real damage to Thomas either. To be fair, like no sustained damage.
No.
Picked up what 14 or no 12 SPP, and got through unscathed. And that's a scary dwarf team. Hello Nolius. Sus. That's a scary dwarf team, and he's got through it unscathed, which is amazing.
I mean, whilst I have sort of hinted that I think at times TomasT is a little bit too rowdy with his Dark Elf play, much fun as I find it to watch, I think Tasteless could take away a little something from that. I think he played a little bit within himself and had to come up with a little bit more than he did today. Is
it his first time in Chalice? I don't know. I don't know whether he made it last season, but yeah, commiserations Tasteless, and congratulations TomasT.
Absolutely, I don't mean any criticism by that. I mean, I think he's clearly got the skills. He's got 2 cracking runs last season, and hopefully this experience will make him, like I said, just perhaps try something a little bit rowdy first half, maybe. Or I felt when the Wiz failed, it was a bit passive.
Yeah.
He tried after that.
Always.
Anyway, thanks for having me, Dimmy. That's